Hey, welcome in, cakers. Today we have the Sci-Fi Challenge. As you can see here, Sci-Fi theme cards have increased stats. Now, if you tap this little button here, that does nothing to tell you about what type of increased stats they have, but it seems that in the past, these types of events have always been about a 30% increase to attack and to health. So, as you can see, we've started out fairly well. 10 wins, 0 losses. It's getting meaty though, Cakers. Some of these matches are difficult. Let's see if we could jump into the battle arena and finish off with 2 more good wins here. Now, of course, sci-fi is the main theme here, the main meta, with the cards being beefed out. But in a challenge like this, it sometimes makes sense to not always run full decks of that same theme. You know, you could get away with it for sure, but some of these other cards out there will hold a little bit of value for you if you can. We're gonna go ahead and just burn this real quick. Let's do that. We'll get this guy on here, and we'll let that big gay owl get beat up for a little bit by this Kenny. He'll chip on the new kid for just a little bit, but not too horribly. Nice work there with the Sky Rats on the Kenny. Taking care of any possibility of mind control there. But we used him for his primary purpose, which was cutting through that big gay owl. So now you can see we've cycled around to our Osimo, which is really what we want here. We want that Osimo up at the front if we can, because he's going to help us out quite a bit more being up at the front of our hand than at the back of our hand. But right here is a good opportunity to utilize him and keep him up in front of some of these units while we start to march across the field. Oh, the big fat ass. Okay, we're going to get rid of fat ass. We're going to go ahead and put a freeze down. Oh, we're one step away from the freeze. I need to get my eyeballs checked here. Sorry, cakers. I've been up like 46 hours almost. Here at this tiny little farm I live on, we got 3 goats now. We had 2 goats, but one of them gave birth about 36 hours ago or so, and I've had to kind of be vigilant and be on top of the goat because, you know, we want to make sure that little critter lives. And it's been a little chilly here in Florida, and so, you know, I've been out there cradling it and cuddling it, making sure it's going to stay alive and whatnot. Um, and in doing so, I kind of caught a little bit of a cold, and of course, I haven't had too much sleep in the process. But, you know, it's all about making sure those little critters survive. So there we see, cakers. We get 1 solid victory. 3 bars there. And of course, we'll try to do the same exact thing on the next match. Everybody's kind of running sci-fi cards. Occasionally, you'll run into that person who's running like adventure for that lightning bolt or that fireball. But with the Dougies out there, it's very important to be mindful also. You know, mind control is kind of a fun card on a Dougie if you could send them back across the field. Of course, lightning bolt's a little bit more safer because you just erase them completely. You know, unholy combustion, things like that. But sending that Dougie back across the field is always fun as well. So if you've got that energy stored up for it, get on it. So from Donate or Die, we got 1991 Denver Broncos. I love it, dude. He's like that one dad from the episode. I would say nice outfit, but I don't want him to think I'm trolling. So he starts out with the big ol' sexiest nun of them all, the Randy. We put out that little 2-point fodder there just to get this opponent playing some cards. We want him to come to our side of the field, of course. We've got the advantage of the zap cannon, and of course the advantage of the ranged units. Now the poison comes in. We're going to go ahead and take care of these 2 dudes here. And that gets Osimo in the process. So he's putting it down pretty heavy right now. Taking it to my Osimo. That Randy ain't no joke. The little short stick gets in between. Of course he gets close to the new kid here. Comes in with the big unholy combustion on the Mecha Timmy. But we'll race across that field with that Bebe and start shooting that new kid in the face real quick. And then of course we'll clear house here on the Butters. Oh wow. Well, if that wasn't interesting, I figured my Kenny would have killed that Butters, especially with him being in control there on the Bebe. But he was able to turn around and whack me 2 or 3 times, whatever that was. But you know, you live and you learn. The Denver Broncos has 1 point left on the health bar there. He, of course, is going to get that tacked up a little bit with that big old Priest Maxi. So we're going to put this up front now. We'll let that poison come in. Of course, our Purify is a bit late, but we're still going to take it because we want to make sure that most of these units can get healed up. And of course, you know, I miss most of them because I'm not very good at placement sometimes. Again, I got to get my glasses on when I do this game sometimes. And so I missed it by about a quarter inch or so. But he revives Priest Maxi, which is pretty cool. You know, he's got the Pope Timmy. Then, of course, he puts the Zen out there, you know, as the meat bag as well. This is a neat little deck he's got running here for a sci-fi meta. I gotta hand it to him. And it's sometimes when this type of a deck is out there, it doesn't matter if you've got those good stalling cards or not. It sometimes is a little difficult to make sure that you can keep up on that maxi. So the opponent gives me the old good game, you know, which it might be. It has been a fun and good game so far. We'll hand that to him. But he's got some units rushing up again on the NK. And we'll take advantage where we can here. He's got a little bit of an energy trade over me right now. But I don't know. We get this Osimo out here. That'll be a little bit better than the Cyborg Keeney I was about to try out. We'll get that Hallelujah up and running there to make sure that some of these units can at least be beaten up on. He's got to use the Unholy Combustion on the Timmy, so we'll go ahead and unleash the Cyborg Keeney. We'll see if that helps us out at all. Now the little minion is shooting us. The Kyle is shooting us. Oh, we misplayed there. What a good fun game though. Well played, Denver Broncos. So we misplayed there at the end. I put the Kyle a little too far back. I thought that I was going to have Kyle in my sights, but I put him a little too far back. Again, you can't keep blaming the glasses, but I totally will in this point. That was definitely, again, a lack of vision there. And maybe a lack of sleep. So 1 loss, not too bad. It doesn't make me feel too horrible. We're going to get back into the battle arena here, though, Kickers. Don't worry about that there. And hopefully we'll only have 2 or 3 misplays this game and still be able to capitalize and catch those wins. That's what we're aiming for here. Capitalization and wins. We want the nectar out of those packs. We want that juicy stuff. While we're waiting for this to load, of course, I'm going to dive into my vape pen towel. Rizzo 420 from Faith Plus One. I love it. I love it. It's good stuff. So Rizzo starts out with the big old Pocahontas Randy. So we're going to have to aim for spacing here if we can, Cakers, because we know that that fireball is on its way. So again, he puts down that Space Warrior token of his own. So we got to, again, make sure that spacing is appropriated here. As we get tight clusters on some of these people, we got to worry about which ones might get burned down to the ground with that fireball. Because that fireball is vicious. So the Rizzo 420, he's got the super dank Kyle up in the sky there. That makes it difficult for everybody. He puts down that Cyborg Keeney. we'll grab a bar on the backside here. That cyborg Kenny takes over our Osimo for a brief second, and that's actually pretty good for us because it pulled us back over to our side of the field. It allowed us to utilize that zap cannon for just a little bit, and it gives our Bebe the opportunity to march in front of these tanks, start shooting that new kid. So we'll zap that dog poo so we can go ahead and catch that bar. Then I think we'll probably just wind up using that Kenny since we could mind control whatever he puts on the board with the Timmy. So the opponent rides steady to the end. Good game, brother. Well played. Oh my. Cakers, I gotta admit, I'm tired, but I'm about to dive into this towel. I'm definitely about to dive into this towel. I've been goat whispering for the last 2 days almost, and it's time to take a little bit of a break. We were able to take a few hours off here and there through the goat whispering, but you know, for the primary part, I've been out there in the field making sure that goat was taken care of. So into the towel we go. Oh, what a beautiful towel that was. That's the Primo towel. Ooh, that stuff's nice and peppery, nice and danky. Yeah, I'm gonna go right to sleep after this towel. I'm almost sure about it, Cakers. I'm not even gonna have to count sheep. It's gonna be super awesome. So before we get started again, this first pack is gonna contain 450 coins. We can't do much more than claim that, but before we go, you know, we want to say, hey, RNGesus again. Bless these little green packs at the bottom of the screen. I'm in need of some silver and gold, people, especially not being able to get on it and hammer it down as much as I wanted to the last couple of days. I've only had a few hours here and a few hours there to be off of goat whispering. So if you feel me, RNGesus, let's get these packs juicy and full of nectar. Amen, my man. And right into it, Cakers. We are going to click on this claim button and take those 450 gold coins. Those things will start adding up. If you can find yourself a nice challenge to farm at 50 cash buy-in, I don't know. I guess I'll have to do the math on the shop revamp coming up Thursday. But 50 cash buy-in is definitely worth the amount of coins you get if you can get through the challenge mode and get those coin packs rather than spending out that money in the shop. So again, coins, materials, and then here we'll see those magical folks that we put on the field. Things we need the coins and the materials for. Getting an Angel Windy up in there and that Stan the Great. We saw a couple of cool cards in front of it. Some Bandita Sally. Maybe it was Calamity Heidi. I don't know. Maybe it was. Oh my. Here we go into the materials pack. Of course we need all these sci-fi materials. Oh wait, oh my goodness, that's right. Hey, there's a sci-fi event going on. I should jump out of this when we're all done. I should finish up that sci-fi event to get those materials for that Jimmy. Definitely. We've only got a few more boosts to go on that Jimmy, and he's going to be all set up, all stacked out. Catapult Timmies, Stan the Greats. We got that Kyle of the Drowells up there. So we're getting a decent amount of rares through here. 1,200 coins. We definitely don't want to forget about this towel. Oh my. Oh, this towel is going to get me. Loving this towel. Ooh. Hitting it out of that mini steamer right now. Kind of hotboxing my room out here right now. We're getting these materials. Of course, we get that Holy Roman candle there at the end. Oh, Cakers, I can't breathe. Hold on, let me take a sip of this vitamin water. Ugh. Oh my goodness, I almost breathed vitamin water. Pro tip of the day. Don't breathe water. If you're a human, it doesn't work. So we getting those Cupid Cartman, the Bandita Sally, two Sheriff Cartmans. We getting two of those fat asses. Some of that Hyperdrive, the Terrence and Phillip, underpants gnomes for sure. Astronaut butters, you got to go out there, get you a couple astronaut butters and some poison. You definitely need some rat swarm. Now we got one more coin pack here, and then we got two more people packs. This is where you usually find the good nectar. Now of course you can get those legendaries and those epic cards before these last two packs, but I feel like this is where the percentage increase for them to drop might lie. And of course that could be conspiracy theory. I don't know. Was there a man on the grassy knoll? I'm not too sure, but there could have been. Wow, look at that, man. We start out with a nice four straight draws on the rares times two on the last two there. Getting a couple Friar Jimmy, some of them Sky Rats. Labarre Jimmy, you almost on your way to level 6, bro. You gonna get there soon. And this guy, I used to run that adventure, and man, I'll tell you, Pirate Ship Timmy, he's the bees and the knees. That guy can get it done. So no juicy nectar there right there, Cakers. Just a whole bunch of rare cards, which is still juicy. I'll still take that nectar, but I want to see some of that silver and gold nectar start turning up right here. We're getting ourselves a Princess Kenny. That almost makes it worthwhile, but there you go. Seeing an arrow storm fall up out the sky and landing in our hand. The Robo Bebe, oh my goodness. I just noticed Robo Bebe has like friggin' robot arms too. I never noticed them little silver arms down there. That's pretty dank little costume you got, Robo Bebe. Of course, that 4 times Warboy Twerk. The Canadian Knight Bastard, where would we be without him? 2 Enforcer Jimmy. Another Pirate Ship Timmy. And this right here is going to be our man, Stan the Great. Oh, it's a regeneration. We'll take it. So a nice amount of rares. Only the one epic through that. Let's see what a 12-1 score like that's going to get you. Keeps you way down the leaderboard there. But that puts you at 360. Not too bad considering we had one run, a lack of sleep, and a whole bunch of other things going on. But to my cakers, we're definitely going to jump over there and look at that deck. Like I said, we're going to try to finish off that event. I guess I've been collecting PvP packs here and there today, and that's why I'm getting those numbers. But we'll get in that arena and start earning and burning. So big shout out to my dude, my friend, my South Park phone destroyer homie out there, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I was chatting with him for a little bit right before I got started on this, and you know, he suggested a deck something like this. Well, you suggested a deck exactly like this. I talked about Purify for a bit, and we did see a lot of poison, and that Purify came in handy throughout. So I'm glad he talked me into utilizing the Purify over the other particular card that I had in its slot. But as you can see here, that Mind Control comes in handy for the Cyborg Keenies, for those freeze Dougies, because you know they're out there. Today is a sci-fi event with sci-fi boosted cards, and anybody who's playing it practical is definitely playing with sci-fi boosted cards. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, that dude had that Maxi and a green deck heavily, and I had that misplay on the Kyle, you know, costing us a loss. So, you know, you don't have to go straight sci-fi. It's not always about that same 30 plus theme. You can just, you know, continue to get cards on the field, not play your opponent, and find that win as well. But in the challenge, you know, they're giving you the ability of having 30% plus on your sci-fi cards. So building a deck around them just seems fitting. So we going with that Mind Control again. Like I said, Cyborg Keenies, Dougies, you know, in other positions you might want to find use for it. But if that Mecha Timmy is on the field with your opponent and they got that charge filled, don't Mind Control something, because then they just use their Mecha Timmy and unmind control it. That puts you or them at a plus energy advantage. So take advantage of that as often as you can with your own Mecha Timmy. And, you know, a couple of those green cards in there. The Unholy Combustion, the Purify, the Hallelujah. You know, that Unholy Combustion is for them trouble cards that get there in the back. Those Bebes, you know, those big tanks you might just want to get out of your way so you can get up to that new kid and pound off that bar. But be mindful, you don't want to put yourself too far at an energy deficit, even if you get that bar, because your opponent just turns around and takes two or three from you. You're playing defense mode there because you're backdoor on energy, and your opponent just comes and red rums you. So be careful there. But again, you got that Enforcer Jimmy, a nice two drop fighter. He's got the aura, shutting people down. Not too many auras going on in here that you're getting too close to, but a lot of people are running those stands. A lot of people running those Space Warrior tokens today. So quite a few opportunities to utilize the aura, but more than not, Jimmy's just a super great two drop fighter for this event here. You got that fat ass Osimo, the fat ass wearing the box. He's being a robot. 5 cost I'm not too hype about. I really am thinking about trying this again maybe and putting Zen Cartman in there. I know he's not going to attack anybody, but that 3 cost will just make turnaround a lot quicker in the deck. And when the opponent, hits you with the transmog or the unholy combustion or whatnot, then you're just that much more energy ahead of them. So I don't know, I might run it again and use that Zen Cartman instead of the Osimo and see if that helps me out. Or see if that's just as fun. It's not like this deck was difficult to utilize. It actually kind of plays slow, and if you place and play appropriately, you'll do pretty well with it. Even though everybody's running the same amount of cards out there, the same or similar cards, you'll do well with this setup here, guys. So gals and cakers, going on into it. Space Warrior token. He's got that nice little charge you can build up and run across the screen and whack the new kid in the face if they've got an empty field, or you know hit those trouble units that might be coming at you with a charge of some sort that you don't want to deal with, or hey, just hold back on that token charge and just wail away with his plus 30% sci-fi damage today. And of course, Robo Bebe, she's pretty dope. She can actually stand just over the white line and hit the new kid all day long without being zapped. And if they're not prepared for that, that could be an additional bar after you take the first one. Um, with the Kyle, I guess it is, she's going to most of the time survive that first blast if she's unhindered, if she's not beat up on. And then she'll bounce back and get back into the range and start with the business again. Now, again, Cakers, I don't know that this is a uh, deck that I could utilize very well to get many more points than I did. And of course, you saw there's a lot of improvement to be made up that leaderboard. But this deck will definitely get you 12 wins. And like I say, that's what we aim for here at Rusty Horror's channel. We know we're not a top 10 or a top 20 or 25 or 50 even fighter in the world. And that sometimes translates onto the challenge board. But, occasionally we get lucky and land in that top 50. Cakers, give it a shot. Give it a shot. If this deck, you can't build it completely, think about similar or same type replacement cards. But keep it sci-fi. Don't get too far away from the sci-fi theme right now. So Cakers, my cake family out there, to everybody that comes here, I always want to tell you thanks so much. I appreciate all the subscriptions, all the new people coming to the channel. If you want to and you're new, click the little subscribe thing, tap those little bell buttons. If you enjoy the content today, again, sorry I'm a little downtrodden. I'm super tired, and I've been taking care of goats, and I just, I definitely been playing this game when I've been sitting in the chair watching the goat here and there, but it's outside in the freezing cold. Don't pity me. Just understand where I come from right now. And, anyway, to my cakers out there, much cake, much love. Y'all keep smoking. Definitely come back on the flip side, and don't forget to bring your towel. Rusty Whore always tell y'all peace, 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 peace.